is speaking from the Common Communicator manual, Your Body Speaks. She is looking forward to go in the fall, going back to grad school at St. Thomas to be exact. She will be going for a Master's of Arts and English. But she is revisiting her favorite historical event. Please welcome Mara out the window. Mara Gawarecki, out the window.
Asking me to pick my favorite word is a little bit like asking me to pick my favorite book. It depends on the mood I'm in, the book I read most recently, what the weather is like outside, sometimes even the phase of the moon. But a strong contender for that honor is the word defenestrate, which, if you do not know what that means, it means to be thrown out a window. And part of why I love that word is because it's so oddly specific. You wouldn't think that we would need a word that describes being thrown out a window, but we have it. It is from the Latin de, which means out of or from, and fenestra, which means window, so literally out the window. My love of this word flows into my favorite historical event, which is the defenestration of Prague. Again, it's an oddly specific event, and you'd be maybe somewhat surprised to learn that there was not only one defenestration of Prague, but two, the first and the second. I'd like to share with you a little bit about these two events, which are near and dear to my heart. The first defenestration of Prague happened in 1419. At this point in Prague's history, it is the capital of Bohemia, which is more or less the western half of the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic didn't exist back then, but it was Bohemia. At this point in the history of Europe, the Protestant Reformation hasn't happened yet. That's about 100 years in the future. But there are, I guess you'd call them proto-Protestants, kind of early dissenters from the majority Catholic viewpoint in the Bohemian area called Hussites. They disagree with the Catholic Church on a lot of similar doctrinal points, the disconnect between nobles and fancy church authorities and the common people. And at this point, in 1419 in Prague, a Hussite leader has been imprisoned for various reasons, mostly supposedly disturbing the majority Catholic peace. And his followers are marching on the town hall to demand his release. They congregate in the square in front of the town hall, mostly peaceably, until someone throws a rock. We don't know who, whether it was a Hussite, someone from the Catholic side of town, but they start rioting. They storm town hall, they release their Hussite leader, and then they defenestrate several councilmen, a judge, and the burgomaster, who's the equivalent of a mayor at that time. Unfortunately, some of those councilmen did die, whether from being thrown out the window or the mob afterwards. So the first defenestration of Prague is not so much my favorite. Death is a little bit dampening. But the second defenestration of Prague is a little bit better, a little bit happier ending. It happens in 1618, so almost exactly 200 years later. At this point, the Reformation has happened. There are Protestants running around all of Europe, wreaking havoc, well, from the Catholic point of view anyway. The Catholics are just as problematic to the Protestants. There's been a lot of sectarian violence and fighting between them. So the leaders of Europe have come up with a solution. Not a very good one in my opinion, but they agreed that if the prince was Protestant, his followers and subjects would be Protestant, and if the prince was Catholic, his followers and subjects would also be Catholic. It helped. Not an ideal solution, but it did help. In Bohemia, at that time, the king was Catholic, but he was pretty laid back about it. He didn't really care what his subjects did as far as religion went, if they wanted to be Hussites or Protestants or Lutherans or anything else, he let them do their thing. Unfortunately, for the Protestants of Bohemia, he didn't have any kids, so his brother was going to become king after him, and he was a little bit more uptight about religion. Because he was the heir, he started clamping down on some of those Protestant sects. He closed some chapels, enacted some laws that restricted Protestant religion, and understandably this made the Protestants of Bohemia very unhappy. So again, they gathered in the town square in front of the town hall and started making demands. Why are you doing this? It's making our lives more difficult. Why can't we just, get along the way we did before? And again, things got a little out of hand. They stormed the town hall, and they took 4 political allies of the king prisoner. They decided that 2 of them were pretty innocent and not really involved in these decisions, but the other 2, plus the secretary, were thrown out of a 3rd-story window. There's a happier ending. They all survived, but what really endears this event to my heart is the fact that the Catholics, of course, said, oh, the reason why they survived is God sent angels to Prague, and they lowered them gently down from the window to the ground so they didn't die. And the Protestants said, well, they fell on a heap of dung, and that's what broke their fall. That's the only reason they survived. And so, to me, delightfully petty and human that rather than just they fell and they survived, you have to come up with your side's spin on the event of why things happened the way they happened. And that is why the second defenestration of Prague is my favorite historical event. There have been a couple others throughout history, surprisingly, again, for that oddly specific word, you'd think that there wouldn't be that many, but there have been a couple other pseudo-defenestrations of Prague, according at least to the book I was reading. A few more instances of people being thrown or supposedly being thrown out of windows. But that is my favorite historical event. Thank you.